Hi everyone, this is Precious from my Immigrant Diary, and I'm going to be making the decisions on round two of the Capsim simulation for my team. If you've been following the videos from round one, from the round one decisions results, you would already understand how I got here. And so, if you've not seen those videos, please go see them. I'll put them in the description. But I'm just going to jump right into this. I've already done a review of the round one video of the round one results. So I'm just going to jump into round two. I'm going to try as much as possible to make this video really short. And I'm going to share a snippet from my team and I working on the decisions that I'm about to share with you. All right. So stay with me. This is round two. We're going to start research and development. Able is one of our product which is in the market, and or is the other product which we started developing in round one. It is yet to be out and we'll come to it. Let's stay with Able for now. Able, we are currently at the sweet spot because if you look at the customer buying criteria, speed, ideal speed is 5.8, 5.8. We're at 5.8, 5.8. So we're great. We're at the sweet spot. 70% for US, 21% for Germany and China 40%. We are in all markets, right? We chose to go with a global, broad, differential product, right? Now the price, we can work with that. We'll work on that in the marketing. Age is 3 years. We're currently at 2.3, and if you look at the age profile on the right, you can see that currently we're at 2.3, and by the end of the year we'll be at 3.3. So where the sweet spot in between is going to be 3, and so we're about to really hit the market. And we already have the market shares but we're trying to get more market shares, right? We have a strong competitor who has a terrible pricing. The price is so low that we can't compete with them, but because they went out of stock, they sold all their inventory. We're able to capture the rest of most of the market. In round two, we have to have that in mind as we make our decisions, right? So what changes should we make, right? So for this is good as it is. Something I noticed is some of the other teams and companies, they added regional kit to their products. So I looked at the date. Some will be in this market and they will be able to gain 10%, because if you read this, the regional kit boosts demand in an area by 10%. So they're going to get 10% of the market just because they added regional kit. But it has cost them some money in development and time. But I think that's a good decision for some of them. So I have to bear that in mind as we go into this into marketing. So for now, we're going to leave this as it is. We think it's good. We're thinking of regional kits. My team and I, we thought about putting regional kit. We did this. We decided that we'll go with China. The reason why we decided to go with China, it's going to be available. It's going to be out in April. The reason we chose to go with China is because the other teams went with US and Germany. No one really went with China. So, and also because from the report, China's low tech market is growing by 45%. And so by round three, China's low tech market will be double what it is at round zero. So that means there's potential in that low tech market rather than rather than in US where there's a lot of competition right now. Three other um, teams have decided to go with regional kit in US, and so there's going to be stiff competition in the US market. Nevertheless, we currently have the highest shares, and we're going to try to keep it that way. But we're also Able is right now a low tech market, but definitely will get some shares in the high tech market. But I'm not expecting it to be significant because the goal is as we go into the round, all will be out and to be a high tech product, and we would therefore focus on achieving gaining some of the market through all for high tech, and Able will just compete in the low tech market and remain a market leader. So for the marketing last term, we had this is what we set up. This is what we have going, right? But what do we want to achieve? We want to be able to gain low tech market, and what's important to low tech is price is 55%. Halfway, it's the biggest decider for their buying criteria. So we're going to try to reduce our price, in relation to the price of our competitors, right? Um, if you what I observed is there's one of the competitor Badwin. I did a review in the review of round one. The price is really below the benchmark, and they're getting most of the market. But overall, the business is struggling because they can't take all of the market shares. They can't because they don't have enough capacity. So when they sell out, we are going to take the rest of the market before the rest of the other teams. So that's why we're going to try and set our price a bit lower than any other team, projecting that they will not do the same. But that's the most we can do, knowing that we have the sweet spot for all the buying criteria. So we're gonna go with 31.75 for promo budget. No one is spending this much, but because we're aggressive, we want to get more market share. We're gonna add 100 and go a bit more, but we're gonna try and spend more because the sales penetration, we need to get more because we're not adding regional kit in the US. So we're going to spend more to try and get more, accessibility. So we're going to try and spend 2,000, 2.2 million. I think that's a fair amount, if you ask me. Yep. That's what we spend. And for the forecast, how do we forecast our growth? So if you look at the round one report, you take the round one report, the market share for Andrew for the low tech market, the market growth rate for low tech market in the US is 6%. So we're going to increase our market share by 6%. Then we'll go to the low tech market. The low tech market is going to increase by 13%. We're going to increase our share of the market by 13% as well. That will give us the expected value. All things remain the same, what to expect in the following year. But we know that we've reduced price, and so we're expecting more sales. Therefore, we should increase our expected value by around an additional 10%. So if you do that math, we should have around 1,860, and we're going to increase that by around 10 to 15%. And so we can safely say, we can do 2,000. But the question is, do we have the capacity to do 2,000? In round one, we took the decision to only increase our capacity by 50 because we're uncertain of how the market will react. So we wanted to be safe. But now we know that the market is not going to react well. So we can increase forecast, but we don't have the capacity. So that means we need to project for the next round. So for this round, we can't be aggressive. We still need to be, somewhat safe. And so for that reason, we'll project, let's see, at 10%, we can do about this 1.9 million. Let's leave it at that and see how it turns out. So we'll go to Germany. In Germany, we're also going to reduce price because we're trying to compete. We compared the prices of all the other players in Germany. The lowest was 33 euro. I'm going to stay with that because we feel we have an advantage. So we're going to increase. We're also going to increase promo, but we're going to increase sales budget because remember, we're still trying to maintain our market leader position. I also want to get some market. So for the forecast, the same calculation. The percentage increase of the market is what we increase the percentage share of the market, increase the low tech market, increase the high tech market share. Add them, you have a forecast for the next round, which is what we've done, and we can increase that based on the fact we've reduced price. We expect demand to increase, so we increase that projection by 10 to 15%, and we'll do the maths. It's going to arrive at let's say 620, 670. They're about, let's leave it at 670. Then we'll go to China market. We apply the same principle for China market. From round one, we had the lowest price there were only 4 players, right? So we had the lowest price. So we can leave it at that, increase the spend a little bit by 100, increase the sales budget because we're trying to get more sales because China market is growing by 45%, and we have added regional kits so we can increase our sales to make sure we dominate the market and sell every inventory we have available. Same way to forecast, right? take your portion of the market, multiply it by the percentage the increase by the percentage increase of the market size. Do the same thing with the low tech and the high tech. Add them together. You have a number for the forecast. If you reduce price, or if you think your pricing is best, and you think the pricing can attract more low tech users, like we're doing right now, then based on that we can increase our forecast again additionally by maybe on that 10% to be safe, or 15%, subject to how you read your competitors, right? The other teams. So yeah, with that, I'm just gonna be a bit, let's say, based on the way the market was, let's leave it at 6:30. All right. And we'll see how this works. Then, so we're done with marketing. We'll go to production. Now you see the impact of what I said. Now production capacity was only increased by 50. So we had 1.7 million. Now we have 1.75. We didn't do a lot, but we're already at 165 capacity utilization as at the last time. So we're going to move this to try and get some surplus rather than, because you have to consider defect, right? So we're going to move this. Yeah, it's a lot. All right, let's leave 50. Defects about 4%. Thereabout. So this should cover for that. It's not enough, but yeah, we'll see. Then for Germany, let's see. We want to do 670. So let's look at 780. How much? So 79. That's about 10%. That's about 10%. If we have the capacity. So let's see for China, 690. Okay, we still have some capacity. Let's move this a bit. Let's say 710. We still have some capacity, do we? This is 780 here. But we need to increase. Let's increase this 990 2000. Let's see. Oh, wow. It's almost all the capacity. That's going to increase our labor cost significantly. Let's move this and see. Okay, 196%. We want to use all of the capacity. It's just going to be, because if we have if we have inventory carrying costs, like we had only 88,000. So we did spend a lot on inventory carrying costs, like the one of the competitor called Digby. Digby had over 3,000 inventory. So it significantly affected them. So we don't want to have that kind of burden. So hopefully, based on our prediction, we should be able to sell out. So we'll leave this at that. Now we know that our competitors are not aggressive enough. We know the market is growing. We know Baldwin reduced their capacity. We also know that Digby is very aggressive. Their prices are they have a high price, and so we want to be able to have able by next round fully in the low tech market, because all our second product will be fully out, will be 6 month old, and it's an high tech product, so we can generally downgrade able to a full low tech product and really just go after the low tech product. And everything we produce is going to be to sell at the low tech market, right? So for that reason, we are going to take and move it to 2000, so we can produce 4 million. Currently, if you look at our total, is 266 is about what? About 2 million. 1.966 is about 1.319 to 2.2. So this is about 2.2 million. That's the capacity that we can produce, but we're trying to go to 4 million capacity because of the numbers we are seeing, right? And also because of Baldwin, who sold over 2 million in the low tech market of the US last round. But because their price is so low, they ran out of stock and it didn't add up at the end of the day because of the cost of production and all of that factor. So their price was too low. You cannot set the price too low. You also have to consider what the competitors are doing and the cost of the production. So we're going to buy capacity. We're going to buy automation so that we can bring down the cost of the labor. Let's buy one. Let's do 5.5. Right. And so this looks good. Let's see what finance. Okay, now So before I move forward, you can see we can actually spend as much as 26 million for investment, but now we have two products. We have all to invest in, so we can't just take all of the investment in and put it in um, able, right? We have to consider investing in all. So we can come back to this if we still have additional funds for investment. This is the max we've spent. This is how much we've invested right now in our plants and production. And so we go to finance. If you're doing if you're investing in plan of production, the recommendation sometimes is that to go sell shares and raise funds or long-term debts, because the plants and machinery are assets that are gonna be there for a long time. And so we're just going to take off what is available for us long term. Now, for the sake of the game, I don't know, we would not take common stock yet. We'll wait to generate sales, increase the valuation of the company of Andrews, and then we can sell shares. By that time, the share value will go up, hopefully, because the company is valued high. Then probably we can sell some shares in the next round to raise money, so we can begin to retire some of these long term debt. Right. All right. Note that the percent each year, a percentage of the long term debt will move to current debt because you have to pay, because long term you have to keep paying you have to pay a portion of it every year. So that's it. Okay. That being said, this is good. Let's see what our performer tells us. Where are we? Oh, we are 79.7. So this is not bad. But remember, we have a second product to set up. So far, it's not bad. Around total 79.7. Learning, good score. Internal business process is good. Customer looking good. Finance looking good. So, right. So we're going to go back to R&D and let's see. Let's work on iTech product. This product is going to be out in July. So be mindful of the date when your product will be out. That's when you can go to the market. So it's going to be out in July. It's 6 months into the year. That means everything we do will only be achieved for 6 months. If you remember in round one, we decided to go, we said not to be aggressive and went for production. For this all, we said, okay, we'll do 450 because we can double production. We can double our capacity to 900. But because it's halfway through the year, that means we can't even get 900. We'll get only 450. That was the small mistake I made. So pay attention to those dates when you're setting up these new products, right? When they're going to be out. It's always best for them to come out in December so that in January you can have your full capacity, right? Or depending on the strategy, depending on what time of the round you're setting up, we set up this product in round one. So there's really not much we can do, except we're going to push production by a year and a half. But we moved this production is taking 1.5 years, and it's strategic because we know we want to just go into the high tech market and take it. So that's why. So that being said, if you look at the iTech buying customer buying criteria, you can see that we're at the sweet spot. This product is going to be ideal position is 8.8, 8.8. That's what it's going to be when it comes out. So it's sweet spot, which is then it's going to be age zero. It's going to be zero. It's just going to come out and take over the market. It's going to be what everyone's talking about, right? Service life is right there, 17. 0.50 is within that margin, and we're going to fix a price that's just going to come out. It's brand new. It's going to be it's going to be expensive. People are going to go for it. It's exactly what they want, and we're not going to sell it cheap. And that's the idea. And that's going to help our margin, right? So that's all. So we go to marketing because it's halfway through the year, and like I mentioned in round one, we went for a small capacity, also subject to what was available for investment, right? So if we look at it, can we, let's go to production. You can see we have 450. That's all, 450,000. We can double the production for 900, but because the product is not going to be out in the beginning of the year, it's going to be out 6 months into the year. You can only do it for 6 months, and so you can only produce about the 450 capacity. So for marketing, we have to stay in the US market because that's the biggest market. Mind you, we've positioned Able for low tech, right? So this high tech will take some of the market that Able was supposed to take in the first place if we had left Able the way it was. And so therefore, we're going to focus on the high tech market. We're going to focus on the US market and we're not going to go into the Chinese market. The high tech market is 300 very low. In Germany, the high tech market is about 1,400 with the new growth. You look at the high tech market in China with the growth, with the new percentage growth, it's going to be at 450 or 500. So it's not enough for us to go in there, compete, pay, the tariff, pay importation, export cost, and all that stuff. So just stay in the US and just spend money marketing and competing to sell everything we have for this new product. So we're not going to sell it cheap. We want to maximize our investment. We're going to sell it at the highest price. So 25 to 44, we're going to leave it at 44. It's halfway through the year. We should be spending like we did in the first round 1.7, 1, maybe 1.9 million, 1.8 million. We'll spend 1 million because it's just 6 months. We're going to put it at 1 point. Also because it's Swiss spot, so we expect it to do well. And for forecast, like I said, we cannot, let's say 450. That's what we're supposed to produce. But now I want to show you the way the system responds to that. So if we put 450, let's look at this. We cannot produce 450. It's showing us 418 because 6 months plus 8 days, because it's July 8th, right? 6 months plus 8 days. 8 days. That means we cannot produce 450. So we have to go back to marketing and reduce our forecast. So we're going to leave our forecast at 410. Is that a great forecast? Okay, let's say 400 because we also need to plan for defects and the like. So okay, I said 418, right? So at 440, that's 418. Now, if you increase capacity, if you increase production, look at this. Nothing's going to change. Now, look at 413 at 430. At 440, 413, 18 is the overage. At 450, nothing changes. So now we're 100 capacity. 100 plant utilization is at 100%, right? We have people working extra for nothing. Now imagine we're trying to just increase it. Say it's just going to keep going up. Now plant utilization is at 140, but production did not change. So people are sitting in the factory drinking latte, having fun, not doing anything. I would like to work for this kind of organization. This is bad decision. So you need to pay attention to errors like this, right? So I got to find the sweet spot where the change happens, because the system knows you cannot produce more than the capacity and the time of the year. So that's 440. I noticed where the change happened. So 450, nothing changes. 440, 430, it drops. Okay. So now 440 is a sweet spot. That's the maximum we can produce for the year. We can produce 450 because it's July 8th, right? So it's not 6 months plus 8 days. So it's taking out 6 months production, 6 months plus 8 days production of the capacity that is available. So you have to have that in mind. Now we've done this. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to go with. You can see that labor cost is high. It's a new product. It's not, we have plants that we invested money for that we've invested money, we can't use all of the capacity. But it's okay. 6 months into the year, it's a new product. We'll make up for it. The good news is that the contribution margin is good. So at the end of the day, it's not bad because we're charging a very high price. That is why. And we know we will sell, right? Because it's a fresh brand product, sweet spot, ideal position, everything that the customer desire is what this product is offering. Now, based on that, how do we project the growth rate? What kind of capacity should we aim for the following year? Right? Why not double? Right? Go to 900. Remember, we also have investment. We have to plan for that. But we need automation to also reduce production next year. Let's go to 3. See, we've maxed out the maximum investment that we can make. So we always have to have this in mind. But we also need to make sure that Able is good. So therefore, should we go change Able? No. Let's stick to this. So the plan is, the best option would be let's reduce capacity. All right. This is great. This is the exact sweet spot. 850 automation 3. This is great. But let's see, how does that reflect finance? So okay, cash position is 8 million, 8.7 million. That's a good cash position. We started the year with 10 million. We're ending the year with, the projection is that we're going to end the year with 8.5 million cash position, which is good. But let's see what the pro forma tells us, right? The pro forma says that We're at 82%. That is good. That is a very good score. But let's see what the income statement says. So it's projecting that we're going to sell 122,000 between the two products. Able last round sold 96,000, 98,000, 98 million. Right now we're going to sell 103 million. So this is good. But what does the profit say? It's 8.3% profit, which is fine. You get 10% profit, 15% profit. It's fine because we're investing. So this is good. This is good. We're still investing. So this profit margin, 10 million, is very good. After cost, after everything, is 8%, is good. Oh, this new product is going to sell 17 million. This is good for a new product, right? So we're good. Good balance sheets. You can see the plant and utilization is at 93%. This is good. This is good. The valuation of the organization is really going to go up next round. So, yeah, do we raise additional fund? I don't think so. Like I said, next round we can look at raising funds through selling shares. By that time, I think the valuation of the organization will be high. At current market cap, we're at 75 million from round one. I think this is great. This is good to go. We're just gonna run with this, and I'm gonna save it. Boom! Now we're good to go. So please like and subscribe. And follow for round two results, the analysis of round two results, right? Stay tuned and stay with me.